Hello everyone. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I'm Kyota Kamamoto from Dr. Yoshiki Tagawa Laboratory at the Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology. I'm presenting our work on behalf of my co-workers Akihito Kiyama, Dr. Yoshiki Tagawa, and Dr. Suha Zhang. I would like to talk about our recent contribution to the clam and the impact formation of immersion jet and oil lubricated droplets. In this study, we investigated the dynamics of a liquid clam consisting of the emulsion and the physical impact. Applying the physical impact to liquid, which is filled in glass tube, triggering various fluid dynamics such as generation of a liquid jet and cavitation bubbles, as shown in upper right figure. These impact-induced fluid dynamics have been studied on a single-phase liquid, such as water, silicone oil, polymer solutions, and so on. The tip of impact-induced jet is small, and thus it is potentially applicable to the on-demand inkjet printing technique. Now, we are interested in multi-component liquid. As an example, we investigated uso emulsion, also known as Greek anise-flavored alcoholic drink. We use water, ethanol, and octanol to make uso emulsion, where the oversaturated oils spontaneously nucleate and form microdroplets. Our research have implications for jetting applications, such as an on-demand printing technology for multi-component and multi-phase liquid, and fast deposition of self-lubricating drops for assembling superparticles. We experimentally created the jet of uso emulsion using lower left experiment setup and collected droplet using lower right setup. We used high-speed camera and high-resolution camera for observing two liquid jet and droplet respectively. I'll show you experimental result here. Applying the impact onto the uso clam, the liquid jet and cavitation were generated. The overall trend of fluid dynamics of uso emulsion was similar to that of water and thus might be understandable based on the model for the single-phase liquid. Furthermore, we could collect the deposited droplets of uso emulsion. As you can see in lower right figure, the deposited droplet consists of two layers. An upper layer is relatively transparent, while another portion seems cloudy. Considering the transparency and liquid density, these are likely the octanol and uso emulsion respectively. Therefore, we could generation of uso emulsion jet and deposition of oil lubricated droplets, which is phase separated. It was suggested that this system could be applied to assemble nanoparticles. Phase separation of uso was also occurring in jet formation. The jet consists of two different layers, oil layer and emulsion layer, are the same as deposited droplets. The clearer layer mainly consists of octanol oil because the density of octanol is slightly lighter than water. This phase separation is observed in all conditions and it becomes more distinguishable as the number of impact increases. The reason for phase separation might be that the small uso droplets were collected at the liquid surface with increasing the number of impacts. It causes to forming a thin oil layer near the surface. To investigate the origin of the phase separation, we estimated the light distance of the oil droplet triggered by the buoyancy and that by the impact-induced acceleration. We estimated the effect of buoyancy using the terminal velocity. From calculation, the oil droplet can rise 6.36 mm during the typical time span of the experiment. On the other hand, the rising height of the droplet caused by the impact-induced acceleration was estimated by the equation of motion of an oil droplet. The rise distance of the oil droplet during impact is estimated at 6.37 mm. These two values are very close to each other, suggesting that the collection of oil droplets near the surface is mainly driven by buoyancy of droplets. We also observed the location of cavitation bubble, the transparency level, and the size and number of droplets. These results seem to reflect the buoyancy effect. As a result, the phenomenon that can be understood as the effect of buoyancy were observed. For the location of cavitation bubbles, the bubble location of the emulsion increases by increasing the number of impacts. This result differed from that in water as shown in left figure. For the transparency level along the long axis of the column, the lowest portion in the liquid column becomes clearer with increasing the number of impacts as shown in the center figure. Also, the middle portion remains cloudy, and the highest portion is even more cloudy. For the droplet, the changes of size and number depending on increasing the number of impacts were observed. Several hundred droplets are observed before the Uzo emulsion is subjected to impact. In this case, the maximum radius of these droplets is on the order of 10 micrometers. On the other hand, after the impact is applied to the Uzo emulsion, the droplet size and number become much smaller. It was suggested that the discussion of effect of buoyancy is consistent with other observation results. In conclusion, we investigated with emulsion jet and deposited droplet experimentally. Experimental results suggest that with emulsion jet and oil lubricated droplet can be generated. Phase separation is induced by buoyancy and its discussion is consistent with the trend of the bubble location, the transparency level, droplet size and number. Our research indicates that with emulsion jet and oil lubricated droplet can be applied to jetting applications, such as on-demand printing technology for multi-component and multi-phase decay, and fast deposition of self-lubricating drops for assembling superparticles. This work is supported by these programs. Thank you for your kind attention.